Have you ever felt like there's more to our past than what we're taught in school? What if history isn't just what we've been told? What if secret societies, lost civilizations, and hidden portals have shaped the world in ways we can't even imagine? Today, we unravel the truth behind the Vril Society, the Thule Society, and the mysterious forces that may still be influencing our world today. Let's talk about secret groups that were searching for something amazing. After World War I devastated Germany, some very smart and very powerful people started meeting in secret. They weren't just talking about politics, they were looking for ancient, forgotten knowledge. The Thule Society started in Munich around 1918. They named themselves after a legendary northern paradise mentioned in ancient Greek writings. These weren't just daydreamers. They were influential people who believed this paradise, called Hyperborea, was real and its secrets could still be found. Even more secretive was the Vril Society. They focused on something called Vril energy, a kind of life force they thought could give people amazing powers. Where did they get this idea? From a novel called The Coming Race. But here's the weird part. They didn't see it as fiction. They thought it revealed actual secrets about real energy and real beings living inside the Earth. Why would educated people believe this? Maybe because they desperately wanted something that would help rebuild their broken country. Or maybe, just maybe, they found something that made these ideas seem possible. Both groups studied ancient texts, performed strange rituals, and searched for artifacts they thought might connect them to this lost knowledge. And as Germany moved toward World War II, these ideas started influencing some very powerful leaders. What if these societies discovered something real? What if they found evidence of technologies we still don't understand today? The connections only get stranger from here. Have you ever felt a strange energy when visiting certain places? The Vril Society believed we could learn to control an amazing power that flows through everything. They called this energy Vril. This wasn't just some magical idea to them. They saw it as a scientific reality, an energy that could heal injuries, power machines, or destroy enemies. Kind of like the Force in Star Wars, but they believed it was absolutely real. So how would people in 1920s Germany try to access this energy? Through meditation, through strange devices they tried to build, and, this is where it gets really odd, through communication with non-human beings. Yes, really. Members of the Vril Society, especially women who they thought were better receivers, would go into trance states trying to contact advanced beings. They believed these beings might be survivors from Hyperborea, living inside the Earth, or maybe visitors from other worlds. During these sessions, they claimed to receive designs for strange machines, maps to important places, and instructions for rituals that might help them develop Vril powers. Some researchers even suggest they received plans for disc-shaped flying machines, what we might call UFOs today. Is there any proof they actually built anything? Well, Nazi Germany did invest in some very unusual technology during World War II. Were some of these inspired by the Vril Society's channeled information? We can't say for sure, but it makes you wonder. What's fascinating is how many cultures talk about a universal life energy: Qi in Chinese tradition, prana in Indian philosophy, mana in Polynesian belief. Were the Vril Society tapping into something humans have recognized throughout history? Ever looked at a globe and wondered what secrets might be hiding at the top of the world? The ancient Greeks wrote about a perfect land called Hyperborea, far to the north where the sun shone all day long, which actually happens in Arctic summer, and people live for 1,000 years. Most historians call this just another myth, like Atlantis. But the Thule Society believed Hyperborea was real, an advanced civilization that existed in the far north before the last ice age. And they thought evidence might still exist in places like Greenland. This isn't as crazy as it sounds. We know Earth's climate has changed dramatically over time. Areas now under ice were once warm enough for plants and animals. Could they have supported an advanced human civilization? It's possible. During World War II, Nazi Germany showed unusual interest in Greenland. They set up weather stations there, which made military sense. But some researchers think they were looking for something else, perhaps ruins or artifacts from their theoretical Hyperborean ancestors. After the war, the United States built Thule Air Base in northwestern Greenland. The official purpose was military. But why name it Thule? The same name as the mythical northern land and the secret society. Just a coincidence? Maybe. Today, climate change is melting Greenland's ice at an alarming rate. As the ice retreats, it's revealing landscapes that haven't been seen for thousands of years. Scientists are finding evidence of ancient forests and even signs of human habitation. What else might be waiting under all that ice? Could Greenland hide portals to other places? John Dee, a famous advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, thought the northern regions held special properties. What if the ice doesn't just cover land, but entrances to vast tunnel networks? What if Hyperborea wasn't a surface civilization, but one that learned to thrive underground? Let's head from the frozen north to where civilization began, Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This is where humans first built cities and invented writing. But could it also hide a vast underground world most of us know nothing about? Ancient texts from Sumeria and Babylon tell strange stories. They speak of gods who came from the waters, underground realms, and knowledge given to early humans by advanced beings. For a long time, scholars called these simple myths. But what if there's more to it? Recently, drought and dam projects have caused the Euphrates River to dry up in some areas. As the waters pull back, they're revealing ruins that have been underwater for centuries. Some people claim they're also finding entrances to tunnel systems that don't match known historical building styles. Have you noticed how many ancient cultures tell similar stories about underground civilizations? From Norse tales to Tibetan legends to Native American stories, these myths appear worldwide. Could they be based on actual tunnel networks that connected ancient sites? The Thule and Vril societies were fascinated by these stories. They saw parallels between the Sumerian Anunnaki, powerful beings who supposedly taught humans, and their own ideas about Hyperboreans. Both were described as advanced civilizations with amazing technologies. Some researchers point to strange similarities between ancient structures worldwide. Precise stonework, astronomical alignments, and construction techniques that would challenge even modern tools. Could these sites have been connected by more than just shared knowledge? Maybe by actual physical passages? The Bible mentions the Euphrates River drying up as a sign of the end times. As we watch the river reach historic low levels today, this prophecy feels strangely relevant. The Bible mentions the Euphrates River drying up as a sign of the end times. As we watch the river reach historic low levels today, this prophecy feels strangely relevant. What if humanity's most important secrets aren't buried under sand, but hidden in tunnels running beneath our feet? Ever heard of John Dee? He was one of history's most fascinating characters, yet he doesn't get much attention in most history books. Born in 1527, Dee was a mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, occult researcher, and spy all rolled into one brilliant but strange package. And he worked directly for Queen Elizabeth I of England. What makes Dee so interesting for our story is how he connects to everything else we've talked about. He was obsessed with communicating with beings from other realms and finding pathways to other dimensions, just like the Thule and Vril societies centuries later. Dee worked with a partner named Edward Kelly, who claimed to be a spirit medium. Together, they conducted what they called angelic conversations ritual sessions, where they believed they spoke with angels using a crystal ball. Dee claimed Enochian was the original language used by Adam in the Garden of Eden, and by angels themselves. Modern occultists describe it as a kind of programming language, for reality a system of sounds and symbols that can change the boundaries between dimensions. Here's where it gets really interesting. Dee was deeply involved in English exploration, especially in northern regions. He advised on voyages toward places like Greenland, the same areas later associated with theories about Hyperborea. Why was Dee so interested in these northern regions? Was he just helping England find new trade routes? Or did he believe, based on his angelic communications, that these areas held special properties, perhaps even gateways to other realms? Dee's work as both scientist and mystic might seem contradictory to us today. We tend to separate science and magic. But in Dee's time, these fields were still connected. Astronomy grew out of astrology. Chemistry evolved from alchemy. What if Dee's approach, combining mathematics with spiritual practices, gave him insights that purely materialistic science might miss? Modern physics talks about multiple dimensions in ways that sometimes sound surprisingly similar to what mystics like Dee described centuries ago. Think all this is just interesting history with no relevance today? Think again. What if the search never ended? What if powerful organizations are still hunting for the same secrets the Thule and Vril societies sought? After World War II, the United States and Soviet Union raced to capture German scientists. The official reason was to gain their technical knowledge, especially about rockets. But some researchers suggest these scientists brought more than engineering skills. They may have carried secret knowledge that influenced classified programs in their new countries. Have you noticed how interested governments still are in the same regions that fascinated the Thule Society? The Arctic and Antarctica have seen increased military presence in recent decades. Remote viewing programs were psychics, but some researchers suggest these scientists brought more than engineering skills. They may have carried secret knowledge that influenced classified programs in their new countries. Allegedly tried to gather intelligence, mirror the Vril Society's attempts to gain information through mediumship. Even private companies have joined the search. Why are billionaires funding expeditions to remote locations and pouring money into space exploration? Sure, there are commercial reasons, but could some be pursuing older, more mysterious goals? The digital age has transformed the hunt for hidden knowledge. Information that was once carefully guarded in secret libraries is now available online. Ancient texts have been scanned and translated. Satellite imagery has revealed structures invisible from the ground. Climate change is exposing landscapes long hidden under ice. Archaeological discoveries like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey have forced scientists to push back the timeline of advanced human civilization by thousands of years. What else might we discover that changes the story we've been told? Modern physics explores concepts that once seemed purely mystical: multiple dimensions, parallel universes, and the effects of consciousness on reality. As our understanding evolves, some ideas pursued by the Thule Society might be reimagined in scientific terms rather than magical ones. Are secret groups still searching for Hyperborean technology or dimensional portals? We can't say for sure, but many powerful organizations continue to show interest in the same regions and concepts that fascinated these historical groups. So where does all this leave us? After exploring the Vril Society's search for universal energy, the Thule Society's obsession with Hyperborea, possible tunnels under the Euphrates, portals in Greenland, and John Dee's dimensional work, how should we think about these ideas? Is it all just fantasy? Or could there be something to these persistent stories that appear across cultures and throughout history? What's the right approach when faced with such extraordinary claims? We suggest it's neither blind belief nor dismissive skepticism, but something more balanced, a kind of informed wonder. Human history is constantly being revised as new discoveries emerge. What seemed impossible yesterday becomes established fact tomorrow. Think about it. How many times have experts been completely wrong? They once thought meteorites couldn't exist, that continents couldn't move, that washing hands before surgery was unnecessary. Being too certain about what's impossible has made fools of experts throughout history. At the same time, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. We shouldn't believe something just because it's exciting. The challenge is finding that middle ground, being open to possibilities without abandoning critical thinking. When you see similar ideas appearing in different cultures, separated by vast distances and time legends of advanced ancient civilizations, underground realms, or communication with non-human intelligences, it suggests something interesting is happening. Are these universal human fantasies, distorted memories of actual events, or glimpses of realities our mainstream view doesn't account for? As technology advances, we're finding that some ancient knowledge was more sophisticated than we realized. Sites like Göbekli Tepe show advanced understanding thousands of years earlier than experts thought possible. Ancient texts sometimes contain information that seems impossible for their authors to have known. Will we someday find evidence that confirms some of these fringe theories? Maybe. As ice melts in Greenland, as new technologies let us see beneath the ground without digging, we may find answers to questions that have puzzled us for centuries. Until then, keep exploring with both open mind and critical eye.